In today's video, we're going to be going over my top 10 Madden abilities of all time. If you don't know, abilities got introduced into Madden 20. That means we have 3 years of abilities to rank, and it's going to be super tough to put only 10 on this list. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started with a couple honorable mentions that I think are great abilities. They just narrowly missed the list. The first one right here is going to be Enforcer. In Madden 20, Enforcer was just so good. It was a great way to go ahead and stop the run. And in Madden 20, you actually fumbled the ball. Like recently in Madden 21 and Madden 22, you can spin into hit sticks, you can juke in the hit sticks, you can jurtle in the hit sticks, and you basically face no consequence. But in Madden 20, it was a little bit different. If your enforcer made contact with you, I wouldn't say you were likely to fumble the ball, but it was way more of a chance than it is in the current day. This basically acted as secure tackler as well. Basically, no matter what, if you landed the hit stick, they were going to be tackled. Another honorable mention I want to give it to that literally is probably my number 11 ability is going to be Inside Deadeye in Madden 21 and also Madden 20 Roaming Deadeye. Inside Deadeye in Madden 21 was glitched. Like you literally could roll out to the right, chuck it wherever on the field, and it was going to be perfectly accurate every single time. So rolling out any single direction in the pocket, wherever, you're basically guaranteed perfect accuracy no matter what. Roaming Deadeye was just so much better than Dashing Deadeye. You'd basically get a chop block from your running back on the defensive end, roll out with Roaming Deadeye, and just throw absolute lasers. Another ability that just narrowly missed the list was Streak Specialist in Madden 20. I think this was better than Deep Out Elite in Madden 22, so I did just want to give it an honorable mention. If you remember the G-Maya streak offense, this was pretty much the key to it. That Streak Specialist was really overpowered, but the abilities on this list, man, some of them are absolutely crazy. But I could see this in your top 10. Also want to give an honorable mention to Bench Press in Madden 21. This was before the patch. I mean, this was seen everywhere. Your receivers would just be fatigued, and just straight up man coverage with bench press was kind of crazy. Basically doing a top 20 at this point, but I want to give an honorable mention to Double or Nothing pre-AP patch in Madden 21. This was a 1 AP ability that just was absolutely crazy with sheds. We're going to get it started at number 10. Number 10, I have a tie because they're two different abilities, but they're also kind of the same thing. At number 10, we're going to have Mid-Zone Knockout in Madden 21 and Universal Coverage in Madden 20. Now, Mid-Zone Knockout in Madden 21, essentially, no matter the zone they were in, they were going to react, and they were going to react faster. This ability lit up everywhere on the field, and it made your defenders actually have a brain and just play like absolutely crazy routes. If you ran zone coverage, Mid-Zone Knockout was an absolute must in Madden 21. Now, Universal Coverage in Madden 20 is super interesting because Universal Coverage is still in the game. It's actually an X factor now. So you have to know how good an ability has to be for it to be made an X factor. It was deemed too OP, so yeah, they made it an X factor. Universal Coverage gave you tighter coverage in man and zone. So this was essentially like the mid-zone knockout we just covered combined with one step ahead, which it wasn't that extreme, but you kind of get the point I'm going for, right? It boosted your man and your zone, which is just absolutely ridiculous for just a passive superstar ability that's going to activate on every single play. These two abilities were just absolutely great for DBs, made them react crazy, and they played routes they otherwise wouldn't with these abilities. At number 9, we're going to have Acrobat. Now, Acrobat was good in every single Madden. Like every single Madden, you can say Acrobat has been a good ability. Diving swats and interceptions. Sometimes Acrobat makes some crazy plays. I was honestly thinking about maybe having Acrobat off the list with Inside Deadeye and Roaming Deadeye taking its place, but just given how good Acrobat has been just throughout the years, I feel like the consistency of it. On Madden 22 Next Gen, you have to put as many Acrobats on the field as you can just to kind of try to play defense. Now, Madden 21 Acrobat was still really good, but you get away with not running it with like mid-zone knockout and pick artist, but just given the sheer need for it for Madden 22, that's what put it above mid-zone knockout for me. At number 8 right here, we're gonna have Playmaker in Madden 21. Madden 21 was a very heavy man coverage year for most of the year with an ability we're gonna be covering later. We already mentioned bench press, and we didn't get Playmaker till kind of like towards the end of the year, but this ability was basically the best counter to man coverage in the game. This is what your player would look like. You'd have, say, gun bunch, right? You have that Z spot play with a corner route from your bunch point man. You have a streak on the outside, and then your solo receiver, you'd have Playmaker on him, and he'd be on a drag. So if they played straight up man coverage across the board, you could potentially hit the corner route if they didn't play a zone over there, or if they did, you just roll out to the right, flick your stick whatever which way direction, the guy would just instantly react and just cook man coverage no matter the way you sent him. So you could send him up, you could send him to the left, you could send him literally wherever you wanted, and he was going to beat man coverage. This was also really effective versus zone as well, because again, like the mid zones, like vert hooks and mid reads, when this receiver would be playmakered up, it wouldn't follow or anything. Definitely a very OP ability in Madden 21, but with the next gen movement in Madden 22, Playmaker kind of died. At number 7, we're going to have Hot Rod Master. Hot Rod Master has been good ever since it was introduced. I don't really feel like this ability needs a crazy introduction or anything, but you get all the good crossers, the posts from your slots, you get deep skinny posts on your outside receivers, you get angle routes on your running backs, just a lot of routes you wouldn't otherwise be able to run without this ability. Now, do you need High Route Master in every single offense? No, but it's just really nice to have. High Route Master basically makes any off meta formation usable because you can just create a bunch of different route combos with it, and it's just so good. It has to be on the list somewhere. And then at number 6, we're gonna have Gunslinger. Gunslinger, great in Madden 22 and Madden 21. Madden 20 wasn't really the best from what I remember, but just given how needed it was in Madden 21, it literally has to be on the list. Like, you could not throw the ball without Gunslinger in Madden 21. Gunslinger has to be on the list. It can honestly be higher for you, but just again, given how you literally couldn't throw the ball. Now in Madden 22, you have Passly Elite that has kind of taken over Gunslinger a little bit, but Gunslinger is still a great ability. Gunslinger is going to be terrible in Madden 23 right now though, because they got rid of the velocity ability part of it. But this ability would increase your throw speed animation, like the animation you have, and also the velocity on the ball. Just a great ability to have. Kind of wish it wasn't in the game and quarterbacks should just throw regular without an ability, but you know, just given how dominant this ability was in Madden 21, has to be on the list. Now at number 5, we're going with Armbar pre-patch in Madden 20. The first MCS tournament in Madden 20 was won because of Armbar and Ezekiel Elliott on the Cowboys. Like, this ability was so ridiculous, it just has to be on the list. Now it did get patched, but given its time, like, oh my, absolutely ridiculous. You could have had maybe like evasive, jukebox, and all these other abilities on here as well, but I think Armbar was by far the most OP ability before it got patched. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna be playing some B-roll and stuff of highlights of Armbar in the background. Like, just look at all these plays, man. Like, you could stiff arm like 5 dudes in one play, and you know, Madden 20 run the ball was super overpowered. But now we're gonna move on to number 4 right here. At number 4, we're gonna have Pass Rush Elite in Madden 20. Yes, we're having a lot of Madden 20 abilities because the abilities in Madden 20 were ridiculous. Like, a lot of them were overpowered, but that's what kind of made it a little bit fun as well. But Pass Rush Elite, think about Edge Threat Elite, think about El Toro, think about Double or Nothing, think about Unpredictable. All these abilities combined into like one. Pass Rush Elite, the ability name did not lie. This made your pass rush freaking elite. Like, everyone across the board could shed, and I felt like you at least needed 1 or 2 of these on your field. Like, they were just so good to have. Again, not really a crazy passing year. Again, this kind of contributed to it as well. But when people passed the ball and they had to go up against Pass Rush Elite, it was not fun. At number 3 right here, we're gonna have One Step Ahead in Madden 21 and also on current Madden 22 current gen. One Step Ahead made one of the most annoying metas of all time in Madden 21, where it's basically man coverage and 2 purples, put your controller down, shade underneath, do whatever you want, good luck moving the ball. And that's another reason why Route Tech just wasn't on the list for me, because Route Tech really couldn't even save you first this. Like, yeah, it was good to have because it canceled out the One Step Ahead, but just given how good man coverage was in both these games, like, I just think One Step Ahead was way more dominant than Route Tech, if that makes sense. Essentially made man coverage just clamp up everything. Very annoying to go up against. Shaped the meta of both of these games and made them just not really that fun, I'm gonna be honest. Now at number 2, we're gonna have Escape Artist in Madden 22. Escape Artist is the best passive ability of all time. I will say that. It is the best passive ability of all time. I'm giving you a little hint on what number 1's gonna be, but Escape is just absolutely broken. Like, people will say QB Spy, QB Contain. Good luck. Good luck. You can glitch out contains. You can swerve through QB spies. Again, this is next gen specific, not current gen. Current gen Escape Artist is a little bit worse. On next gen, man, Escape Artist literally is the most infuriating ability to go up against because it literally makes your quarterback like 130 speed and it feels like your defense is like 50 speed. I honestly think if Escape Artist just deleted Escape Artist in the game, Madden 22 would still be one of the worst Maddens released, but it wouldn't be as bad. Escape Artist is like the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like the icing on the cake, you know. It just makes for a game that just isn't really fun to play and just makes the defense borderline impossible. Now at number 1 though, we're going to be having Dickerson 100. Dickerson 100 is actually a superstar X Factor ability, which kind of doesn't count on the list, right? But the reason why it's on the list is because Eric Dickerson started with this ability no matter what. Like, literally no matter what. It wasn't like Moss 100 where you have one play either. This card, if you didn't knock him out the zone, he had this ability the entire game, and it just made for some absolutely crazy clips. Like, I mean, some of the craziest clips we've ever seen. Like, Eric Dickerson literally still gives people nightmares. It was probably the most ridiculous cards of all time, and I don't know who signed off on Freight Train 100 or Dickerson 100. They again made the game just a lot worse. Like, running the ball was already crazy OP. Now you have someone that's literally going to break the first tackle every single time, and combine that with, say, Armbar or Jukebox being really, really good as well. You're basically breaking the first 2 tackles, which just contributed to the meta overall. And yeah, y'all, that has been my top 10 abilities in Madden history. Let me know what I missed on in the comments, because there are so many good abilities that have been in Madden. I can't include them all. I think I got a pretty solid list though. Let me know if I missed on anything though. If you did enjoy the video though, you enjoy content like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to see me play live as well, make sure to go ahead and look at the description, hit the Twitch link with the follow. I do appreciate y'all though clicking onto the video. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you're looking for another video to watch this one right here. Me and a top 50 ranked MCS pro reacted to Madden 23 beta feedback.